Okay, so moving on from just now, what did I say is that they can ask you in two ways. First is they can just talk about an individual's contribution to society. Another way they can ask you is if they ask you solely about organized groups, then what you need to do is write one paragraph for informal and one paragraph for formal. So for the formal part, for the informal part, I've given through for informal groups. Okay, then you give the definition. They have specific short-term objectives where efforts could help improve a specific situation that society may encounter and they are not registered with the government. So then you give your example, which is SGH Rescue, an informal group created by who and to do what. Okay? So, is to help people manage the ill effects of the haze. Then you have to give them specifically what do they do. So referring to your notes that I've given you, you can flip it up back again to the top. So SGH Rescue basically, right, they ask for people to help and donate excessive masks after the PSI rose to 3 to 1. The group, so you write the group asks for people to help donate masks, excess masks after the PSI rose to 3 to 1, and all these things must be in your essay. You receive close to 200 masks. Okay, you don't need to be so specific. You just need to write they have received masks and organized 10 volunteers to distribute masks and to people who cannot afford it. So following which you give your benefits as the disadvantage are taken care of. Okay, referring to your example, how does this benefit society? Because they are now taken care of, as those who cannot afford now have medical supplies as such. Okay, following the notes, society will be more caring and compassionate. So you have to fit your example and choose in the box here which one fits it the best. Okay, in this case it is more caring and compassionate, and you can help complement the government's role in taking care of tackling the haze effectively. Okay, so that is for informal groups. So for formal groups will be your next paragraph. Then you give your definition of what is formal groups. So which is here. Okay, so you have to write all these things. These are groups which have clear objectives and are formally registered with the government. Okay, then you give your example of this is, so you go back to what you have written before, which is minds. So I've written a paragraph here on minds, have I? Yes, so this is an organization candidate. So all these things are the same. Your example of minds. Okay. Okay, then you write how this benefits society, so it's the same thing. Whose needs are taken care of? The intellectually disabled needs are taken care of. And hence Singapore will be more inclusive, where we are caring and compassionate towards one another. Also, it helps complement the government's role in doing what? In meeting the needs of these groups of people, which is the intellectually disabled. As such, this is how organized groups help to meet the need of society. Okay. So this is your essay in a nutshell. You have one paragraph for informal groups, and then you have one paragraph for formal groups, where you give to answer the question, you give the examples, you explain why this leads to the good of society, and then you link back. As such, this is how organized groups meets the need of society. So this is basically how you answer the question. Okay, so another way that they can ask you is how it can influence government decision. So this is the second part of your textbook. Basically, it's roughly the same things. So what you need to do is to give one paragraph for individual and one paragraph for organized groups. If they ask you, explain how an individual or an organized groups can influence competition. So in this case, you have to give one paragraph for individual, one paragraph for organized groups. But if they only ask you organized groups, then you have to give one paragraph for formal and one paragraph for informal groups. So I hope you're clear on that. So let's go through on how you can write each paragraph, starting with individuals. Okay, so individuals can influence government decisions. So you're answering the question directly. Answering the question directly. So then you write your definition again of what individuals are. Okay. So basically it's this. So it's the same thing. Oh, citizens. Okay, yeah. Influencing decisions. So citizens can improve outcomes by addressing the needs of us by responding to issues and challenges that they care about through different online and offline platforms. Okay, so what is the example? Basically in part 2, examples. The examples is that you can use the one with the bracket, influencing government decisions. So what have I given here? Individuals influencing government decisions is the SG conversation. So you can say one example of this is through SG conversations. Okay, so what is it? It's national level conversation, blah blah blah, everything right here. Then okay, this is pretty long, so you can pick up certain facts that are important, which is this. So your definition, and okay, this part actually refers to your outcome. Okay, so after you get the definition that this is a national level conversation where people come and share ideas, then you can write through this conversation, right? 5 categories of outcomes were listed. 5 categories of outcomes were listed, which includes, so what does it include? Purpose, assurance, opportunities, purpose, assurance, and trust. Okay, so then you write this part down. And trust, where such as strong family values, affordable and accessible, and all these things. Okay, these things that you've written down are the outcomes of the conversation, and these things are the things that help benefit society. So this, in a nutshell, is your explanation. Okay, so by participating, then you just continue with what is over here. So you just add on a few more things which would be sufficient. So by participating, which do you think is relevant? Okay, there's a sense of ownership, definitely. People would have, or would develop a sense of ownership towards different areas of concern and the government. Okay, again, you can write complement the government's role. Okay, this helps complement the government's role in having meet. In this case, it's not meeting the needs of people in helping to address the needs that people have desired. Okay, so that society as a whole can benefit. Okay, as such, this is the way, is how individuals can play a part to influence government decisions. So this is your link. Okay, in a nutshell, this is your essay. So individuals can influence government decisions. Yes, you have addressed the question. You have written what the definition is. Responding to issues and challenges that they care about through online, offline platforms. Then you've given me the example, which is SG Conversation. What is it? Where people share their hopes and dreams. And there's 47,000 people participating. And what's the outcome of this? There are 5 outcomes listed, including opportunities, purpose, assurance, spirit, and trust, with things such as the emphasis on strong family values, affordable and accessible basic needs, trust and accountability, shared identity. Okay, so by participating, people would have developed a sense of ownership. So then you have the direct outcome here, which is your explanation through different areas and concerns of the government. And this is also important, the complementary role. So you as an individual can help complement the government's role in helping address the needs of people so that society as a whole can benefit. So yes, you have answered the question here. And this is how individuals can play a part to influence government decisions. So this is basically how you will write the first part. The second part would be organized groups. Okay, organized groups can also play a part to influence government decisions. So this would be your starting sentence for your second paragraph. Then you follow the format that I've given you. So definition plus examples plus the outcome plus explanation plus your link in this format, and you will definitely score an A plus for your answer. So for this part I will not go through it, so I hope you understand. And if you have any questions, you can leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe.